Peace, love, shalom, family. I want to get into this video really quickly. The name of the video is going to be called Stay in Your Lane. And pretty much the subtopic is you wonder why you can't get nowhere. So stay in your lane is the topic. The subtopic is you wonder why you can't get nowhere. This is not really meant to be a spiritual message. If it turns into that, so be it. But this is something that it's more so advice that I'm giving to people that I noticed that is become a problem not only for some people but for most people, is they cannot seem to keep their eyes on their own relationship. They cannot seem to keep their eyes on their own life, on their own self-development. This video is not intended to tell somebody to be selfish and to be self-centered and and to become a narcissist and be narcissistic, but more so for you to understand that the reason why you can't get anywhere is because you're paying attention to everybody else. The reason why you can't get anywhere in your relationships, not saying this is the ultimate reason, this could just possibly be a reason, this could be for someone else and not you, but you can have other problems and this might not be your problem. But I know that at least 70% of people, out there have this problem. You can't seem to get anywhere in your relationship because you can't keep your eyes on your own relationship. You're looking at what Tom and Kim is doing. And by you looking at what Tom and Kim is doing, you're missing out on your own relationship. You're wishing you can do what Tom and Kim is doing, or you wish you were Kim, and you will never be Kim, and your man will never be Tom. If that's the case, you got to go be with Tom. If that's the case, you go back to heaven and tell God you want to switch and you want to be Kim. You are your own being. You were distinctively, creatively, purposely made who you are. You were not made to be Kim. You don't have the same gifts that Kim have. Your man does not have the same gifts as Tom, and vice versa. Everybody is different. And just maybe, if you paid more attention to your own relationship and paid more attention to your own man, you just might learn something about the one that you're with. You just might learn something about yourself. You just might unwrap gifts inside of you that you didn't even know that was in you, that you can display on your own through God's help. You know, you don't always have to compare and control. Sometimes people say, oh no, I'm not really paying attention to them. You know, I do my own thing. But your actions say something else. Your actions say something else. Stay in your own lane. When you see a swimmer and those races and those swim races that they have in the Olympics, there's lanes. Everybody's looking straight. Nobody's head is turning to the left or to the right. All they see is their lane and their goal. Same goes for track and field. My grandmother was an ex-track star. She'll tell you, everybody's eyes was on the prize. They were looking straight. They were not looking left. They weren't looking right. They weren't looking behind them, seeing everybody else's progress. They married and I'm not, so I got to do what they did to get married. No, you don't. You got to do what God says to do, just like they did. And most people didn't even follow God. They followed themselves. And we ain't seen their end. Not that we're wishing bad on anybody, but we haven't seen these people's end. You got to worry about you. You got to worry about what God has for you. Just like Peter said, when Jesus and Peter was on that water, Jesus said, look at me. Look at me. Focus on me. The moment he start looking down and wondering about this and wondering about that, how he gonna stay in the water, he wound up drowning, going underneath. Or about to drown, I'm sorry. He didn't drown, but he was about to if Jesus didn't pull him out. But you have to understand that when you focus on your own relationship, that focus is like a building block. And then you get another building block. And then you get another building. And then next thing you know, you got your own foundation under God. God is the foundation. The next thing you know, you got your own philosophy on the way you do things in your own relationship, under God. Don't worry about what job this person has. This job is for them. That's what God has ordained for them. It may not be for you. When you got people on the line, they're on the same line as you. Just because, listen to me very carefully, just because they got theirs before you doesn't mean you ain't going to get yours. You just got to wait in line. Just like when you at the supermarket. You online like everybody else. Everybody has their own items and their own things that they're going to display and buy. But just because they got out faster doesn't mean that you won't get out. You just have to wait your turn, no matter how long it may take. While you're waiting, get deeper with God while you're waiting. Learn more about Him. Learn more about yourself. Learn more about your spouse. Learn more about what job you might think you might want. You know, sometimes we say we want one thing and then that might not be it. I would complain all the time, God, I don't want to be on the road no more. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay, God's like, I bet. Go ahead and stand up. He gave me something where I was standing up and for a long span of time, and all I wanted to do was get back behind the steering wheel. Now, the job that I do is very strenuous. I lift very heavy. I drive for a lot of hours. I walk around. It's busy. And that's what I like. God knows what I like. God knows that I like moving from place to place, building to building, helping people. And it's just that with me, I just deal with other circumstances that make me dislike what I'm doing. But there are other things that I want to do, but I have to wait until I'm ready for that. I have to wait until God says I'm ready for that. Not because Anki over here got something and Billy over here got something. No, I got to worry about me. We spend too much time worrying about other people till you miss yourself. You spend your time trying to be like so many other people that you never get to know yourself. So you wind up following other people, doing what they love to do, and then by the time you realize this is not what you love to do, it's already too late. Now you're in your 60s and 70s and you're on your way out. No shade to people that's in the 60s and 70s. I mean, just saying, generally speaking, that when you get older, you should already know who you are. And, y'all is kind of going down the mountain. But you get my point. So, basically what I'm trying to say is you spend your whole life worrying about other people. You spend your whole life trying to be like other people. And then you miss out on what God has for you. Stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what house this person got. Or how did they get that house? I got to do the same thing that they did to get this house. No, you got to do what God says for you to do. Humble yourself and seek His face and be patient, and He'll do just that, or do whatever it is that He wants to do for you, or give you whatever you need. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. You got to worry about yourself. This one went to that school, and that's how they did it. So this is what's going to work for me. This is how I have to do it. No. You have to go to the school that God designed for you to go to. He has His plans and His purposes and His reasons for you going to that school that you want to go to. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Do what you do. Do whatever God tells you to do. Do whatever you feel led to do. Yeah, but this is not popular. So what? Who cares if it's not popular? Do what God says for you to do. Not what everybody else is doing. Everybody's lives are different. We all serve the same God. And we're all on the same mission. But our gifts are different. And our functions are different within the body of Christ. Within the body of life as a whole. Even if you want to just step out of the religion standpoint and just say, everybody has their own role. In an ambulance corp, you have your dispatchers, you have your call takers, you have your coordinators, you have your supervisors, you have logistics, you have the mechanics, you have the security guards, you have your doctors, you have your nurse, you have, your patient techs, you have everybody. Same mission is to keep the medical field functioning, but everybody has a different function. If the doctor is worried about what the mechanic is doing, people would die. If the mechanic is worried about what the doctor is doing, you wouldn't have a truck that's working properly. Everybody is functioning the way that they should in their own place. You have to let God define you. You have to let God show you where to go. Fast, pray, seek His face, humble yourself. There's nothing wrong with fasting as the way that He leads you. There's nothing wrong, with praying to see whatever way that He leads you. We have to worry about, I can't stress that enough in this video. Because you say that to people and they go in one ear, yeah, then they go right out the other. Oh, I wish I was them. Their relationship is just so much creative. It's so much more creative than mine. You know, they do so much more. Oh, they ain't doing nothing. They went out to eat just like me and you do. Like, it's nothing big. You know, you have to understand, even if they were going to Paris and France, that's their mission. What if God wants us to go to Japan? And we'll miss our trip to Japan and miss what God has for us over here because we just want to be them so bad. Worry about you. Worry about your house. Worry about what you got to improve in. Worry about what you need to improve in. Stop worrying about everybody else. When I was 15 to 16 years old, I always wanted a car. Right? So it seemed like every time the money would show up, I was going to be able to get the car, and then something would go terribly wrong. Okay? And I understood why. Because I was doggone near a street racer. I wasn't mature enough to be able to handle that. The guys that I was around at that time would have gotten me in trouble. The women that I were around at that time with a car, I would have gotten in deeper trouble. And God called me. I'm peculiar. I'm set apart. I'm no better than nobody else. But I am different. I'm no better, but I am different. And when God has a certain call on your life, there's just certain things that you can't do that other people do. There's just certain things that you can't participate in that other people do. God wanted me alive. God showed my dad in a dream me burnt alive in a car fire. And at that time, I was racing on highways, racing on the street, racing down the street, no license, no permit, the first, going almost 40 to 50 miles per hour on a 25 mile per hour street. Okay, at night. You know, I was doing some very crazy things, and God knew that, oh, I want to go to work. Oh, I need work so bad. But sometimes He will prolong certain things to protect you from whatever it may be. I wasn't ready yet. No matter how much I thought I was ready, I was not ready for that yet. And I thank God for doing what He did, because now He's given me this beautiful car, and I've been able to take care of it due to His help. And all it took was a word, was an understanding. If I was worried about the new car that somebody else was getting, or the new car that this other guy got, or why everybody else getting it and not me, I would not have been able to hear the instruction on how to get this one. And I know God getting ready to give me another one very shortly and very soon. He's going to give me another one. Because why? I'm listening. Instructions. God gives instructions. You can't listen to people. People ain't going to understand. You got to listen to Him. So I don't want to make this video too much longer. Peace, love, shalom, my people. And just be encouraged. Focus on yourself. Things ain't going right. Things ain't going your way. And it seems like everybody else is passing you up. The only reason why it seems that way is because you're paying attention to everybody else. We all move at different pace. We all get blessings at different times. But it was never meant for us to study everybody's blessings. And if you see it, let it be an encouragement to you. Say, I know that's going to be me one of these days, where God, it's not that you're going to have what they have, but you know that God's going to bless you. The same way He did, He'll do it for you too. Everybody has their own blessings and their own needs. Okay, but stop looking around. I hope somebody listens. I hope somebody hears me. I hope somebody's sitting in their room right now looking at this video and saying, wow, he has a point. I hope somebody's sitting at work or on break and saying, wow, he has a point. You know, I'm really going to start doing it. I'm going to start focusing on me more. I hope somebody's at their church right now in their office, chilling, waiting to go preach, and they see this video and they say, you know what? He's right. I'm not going to worry about other ministries and how many members they have. I'm going to focus on what God has here in my ministry and do what I need to do so that the people's lives can be edified that are in my congregation. I hope that I can be an encouragement to somebody. Don't worry about other people's marriages. Everybody getting married and everybody doing what they want to do. A lot of people are not following Christ. They're doing what they want to do. And trust me, you will see and witness, not that you're praising on somebody's downfall, but you'll see as an example as to why you should do what God tells you to do when He says to do it, and stay in your lane.